Hello, Peters and Pussies! Today I will tell you where I have been for the last couple of weeks. As you can see by my background, I'm finally back. My face is more yellow, it's more brown because I was exposed to the sun, right? We'll also talk about the altcoins, we'll also talk about the current market, we'll also talk about blood moon, astrology, FOMC, and what does this mean for your crypto portfolio. Of course, you probably just have to wait for the pump on FOMC and just short it, right? This is probably the right thing to be doing at this stage. Without further ado, let's start. First of all, heroes of Myia. Here is the current market position they have, and this unrealized profit is actually not something I was taking out myself. They just pretty much paid it to me for funding, right? Probably screwed this up slightly because I had a 15k exposure at the bottom, and then I increased it, and then I actually fixated some, right? Which probably pushed me into the situation where the position is probably around the same size. I just increased my entry point, right? So let's hope this thing won't be going back to 0.18. If it will just sustain, I do plan to just continue to hold it till the end of the cycle, right? Preferably increase it in the future as well, because I have other loan opened as well, which is slightly lower, right? It's currently open on Bybit because there were some things that happened with BitGet. We won't be talking about them today. Myia market cap is around $28 million at this stage, and I honestly don't think that something like this has happened. Bitcoin bull cycle is over, expecting 6 to 12 months of bearish or sideways price action. And something like this got 3 million views, right? So this is something that people definitely wanted to see. This is something that people loved to see in the first place. I don't think something like this is happening. And I would even say that the bull market never started. Never happened. Speaking about altcoins, because if you're in Bitcoin, yeah, probably like 5 to 6x up until this time is probably quite nice to you. And I think BTC-wise, bull run, like the vast majority of the bull run definitely happened. And it's very interesting because people currently, they want to be buying into Bitcoin. They have this like mind frame, all like altcoins are shit, nothing is happening. I should probably just sell my alts on the bounce and buy into BTC. And BTC is going to underperform heavily from here, right? Because it was outperforming for so much time, actually, right? So, but I do believe that for Ethereum and for alts, bull market never happened. And the main issue that we had before, right, something that people were essentially talking about is that, well, all these valuations, they're rigged, VCs are making money and things like that. Are they rigged at this stage? Are the valuations actually rigged at this stage? I do believe that currently they are very, very close to fair values and to the bottoms. I'm specifically talking about the valuations for alts. So all these VCs upside, right? They pretty much scammed it already. They pretty much dumped it down already. I do believe that currently, finally, we will have the option to have the price discovery for the assets, for the altcoins on there. And best projects, they were essentially just dumping and shorting along with VCs just to have some money in the treasuries to push the prices of the projects moving further. Ethereum to $15,000, it's happening. Only Ethereum and Bitcoin are truly decentralized and neutral. Only Ethereum has revenue, native DeFi, powers on-chain economy with Base. All of this make Ethereum a better store of value long term. Ethereum will become a solve with actual network utility and yield. Baron just texted me this. So this is essentially just speculation about what type of assets are actually going to be present in the Bitcoin strategic reserve in the US. Reserve composition, 50% Ethereum, 35% Bitcoin. If you would think, where are we cycle-wise? If you would think, where is the market cap of Ethereum? If you would think how much Ethereum is actually lagging, this type of portfolio composition makes the most sense. And people are saying that like there is not enough catalyst for Ethereum to pump currently, there is no narrative. This is your narrative. This might be huge. Obviously, this is just some random messages on TG, on X, so this is not something that we can trust at this stage, right? But this is just something nice to at least talk about and have. No way for real. Looks like Eric is pushing for Ethereum. Full sended, $15,000 quoted. This is essentially one narrative for ETH. And I do think that even if something like this won't be happening, Ethereum would go high from here. I do believe Ethereum has at least 5x in it from the current levels. This is something I honestly believe in. And I know I've been talking about the fact that memes probably won't be performing the best, but if you would think about like the most native assets, these are Ethereum memes, and like no one is bullish on Ethereum memes at this stage. Like no one is bullish. Like I want you to ingrain this thought in your mind. We're at the peak bottom, sentiment-wise, for memes and for Ethereum. So if you're buying Ethereum meme, this stage. And you're just holding because like, man, I just cannot buy some stuff on Solana. Like I buy some stuff and I need to sell in one day. I need to this trade. I'm 15 years old. This guy bought this wallet bought. It's fucking bullshit. No one wants to be doing that. People just want to buy and hold and make money. And this is the opportunity you have with Ethereum memes at this stage. You just buy and hold. And I can tell you one thing. The biggest mistake that you will be making in upcoming 3 to 4 months is selling too early. You will see the bounce, you'll feel nice about that, about yourself, you'll sell, right? I'm not just talking about Ethereum memes, I'm talking about anything out there, right? So Ethereum memes is kind of like the Max Payne for the market. The same way that Pepper Run was Max Payne for the market previously, because most people that were present in the market, they caught Pepper, right? But they just sold after 2, 3, 4, 5x and it just went and on and on and on and on. The next 2 months will be up only. It's interesting that I actually started to believe in astrology way more currently in terms of the crypto, because there are just too many variables. There are just too many manipulators out there, exchanges. Everyone wants to fuck you up. Like, it's insane. I believe the approach that you might be taking is charts. Just look at the charts, just pattern recognition, right? Or astrology. Probably like the best mix of that is pattern recognition plus astrology. This blood moon shit, like, I have some thoughts from some astrologists I know, right? I honestly want to say that we should be pumping. We should be pumping since the end of March, since around the time currently, right? And I hope I will be entering some more longs to today, right? For some altcoins. And we should be pumping till June. So a proper fucking alt season. And I would say it's Max Payne currently because like people are looking to short. If you're on the market, you're checking out different people talking about FOMC. What they're saying is that I will loan into FOMC and after that I will short. People are looking to short at this stage. And stock market, like we might not be at the bottom of the correction of the stock market as well. If I would tell you that I do think that alts actually can perform here, even with stocks dumping, you will probably think that I'm insane. Right? And like all these profits in Myia that I've just shown, like this is nothing in comparison to how much money I actually lost long in this thing. So I would at least need like 3-4x from here to break even. But again, like from my point of view, it's just about holding. It's a very, very nice exposure position to have moving on into the bull market. Most of you will probably close it and you reposition to something else. I know I'm a shit trader, I won't be doing that. The next 2 months will be up only. M2 global liquidity is the most accurate metric we have and it's lagging approximately 56 days behind like I mentioned before. Yes, the current phase is desperation and for some it's heaven. Depends on POV, point of view, right? Ignore the noise and stack M coins. Loading big time. Yeah, I do agree with that. School was kind of bullish for like before the dump as well, right? So I don't believe that he predicted the dump. But this is like something that we haven't currently is a very, very crazy period of time. Coming to the fact, to the thing where I was in the last 2 weeks, right? So it's very interesting how my state and the things that I was doing, they connected very well with the actions that that BitBoy would essentially do in Ben, right? So I flew into the US, I live in Europe, I flew into Florida, I rented a car, and I was driving for like 20 hours straight. With music just by myself, right? Stopping out in random hotels. I was crying at certain stages. So like, this is exactly my state 2 weeks ago, like 100%. I was not doing drugs, like I'm not doing drugs in general, right? But this is exactly my state 2 weeks ago. It's insane how well it's actually synced up, right? And this was my state 3 to 4 days back when I was essentially given the car back, right? And right now I'm essentially back in my spawn point. Here's the proof. I was actually recording myself. This is the first day of that trip. I hope YouTube won't ban this video for this music. Here's the second video. And as you can see, my eyes are kind of red, right? Because I was crying. Because yeah, it was a pretty fucking like tough time, to be honest. And I'm glad I went through it. Like it's a real transformation out there. And it was happening exactly around the bottom in the market as well. So it's pretty insane. I do believe that like it should be the bottom. Because yeah, like these emotions, this stuff, a lot of people, I do believe they went through something similar, and it's quite interesting to see the same thing happening to Ben as well. So I honestly believe that this is the time to learn ALTS or die trying, which is the reference to a 50 Cent album, Get Rich or Die Trying, right? And I do believe that the ALTS that you should be learning, like, I just can't look into something that it's like is in the hundreds of millions of dollars in market cap. Although we did have a case like BNB in the last cycle that went like 100x. From $400 million market cap to 40 billion, right? But that's just insane. I would love to catch something like maybe like under 100 million that can actually be reaching something like 100 billion. From my point of view, this actually is blessed. So the coin I would be planning, or I would actually just long it right after this video, is probably going to be blessed. I just do think that, yeah, good things should be coming. I love like each and every thought process that Pac-Man is sharing himself. In terms of like, this is essentially the way I built my company in the first place. We started to build mobile apps, and I was thinking that if I would be focusing on anything else, it would be pretty hard to get this initial exposure into the market, because like we were pretty much closing the certain segment of the market, and through that we were able to extend. And the revolution that happened in Web 2 after websites was specifically mobile apps. Pac-Man mentioned something about mobile gaming as well, 100%. That people were bashing on mobile gaming like nothing is happening out of it, right? And I think right now it should be actually bigger, especially if we would consider things like GTA 5, like if we would remove this out of the picture. But I think even with that, I think that revenue from mobile gaming should be even bigger at this stage, because it's casual. It's something that most people have access to, right? And I think we underestimate the amount of accessibility, amount of people that actually need things to feel real, right? And like the way I'm going to long blast is essentially I'm going to put my liquidation point below like $55-60 million in market cap, right? Which would mean that if I'm getting liquidated, the amount of TVL that Blast mobile app has is higher than its market cap. Because the amount of TVL is like 60 million at this stage, and if Blast goes to 55 million or something, it would mean that I got liquidated because the amount of TVL actually became bigger than the market cap, which won't fucking make, like, there is no app in this world that has 60 million fucking dollars on it, right? That's pretty insane. This is my thought process out there. And like, you know, I'm present in the market on a daily basis. Despite the fact you obviously can't say that you can be an expert in each and every niche, right? Like AI, real world assets and things like that. Nothing was able to catch my attention besides these two projects, Myia and Blast. And I'm still down on Myia. Like, you've just seen like 57K profit P&L. I'm still down on this shit, right? So like the only way for me is essentially to continue holding for all the time that I was trying to learn this stuff. I just don't see anything better. It's pretty insane. And like the thought process, the logic that you should follow here is that we should be around the bottom for most of altcoins, right? And most of them, they're protected by the speculative upside, which means that by the natural increase in the total market cap, total valuation of all crypto, the coins, they will be receiving liquidity and they will be increasing the market cap. They will have a base, right? I was doing some calculations that I think that ALTS, on average, they should be up from 4 to 5x in the upcoming 2 to 3 months, right? From the base cases that they are at currently. And then you kind of should pick like based on things that you like. Maybe like some fundamentals, you know that some influencers are in certain coins. Like safe picks is probably just biased like some Alex Becker coins, right? Because he would push them anyway, like gaming coins. And that's why I was long in Myia for all this time, right? The other thing is just somewhere that you believe in, that you like the fundamentals, because the biggest issue is going to be closing your position too soon. The biggest thing to do on this market in the coming several months is actually going to be able to hold and not reposition. Because I had more profits on this Myia alone. I probably had like closer to 100K profits, right? I could have closed, and maybe this was the play, like close it and reposition to something else. But it's also like a high chance to just lose most of it, right? This way. And do I believe Myia should be going higher? Yeah. If they're reaching product market fit, it can easily be going to $3 billion in market cap, which is 100x from here, which is like $5 million, right? If it reaches $6 billion in market cap, that's $10 million. for my exposure at this stage, right? But no one would be able to actually long it till that time, and obviously the chance of that happening, because the game is still kind of rigged, like they don't have unlocks currently, but they will have unlocks in May, right? Which I think a lot of projects actually will have unlocks in May and June. So I would believe that distribution phase will be starting around May and June. Around this time would essentially just be waiting. And I think we'll be seeing coins pumping. I also don't believe like in Solana. I do think that me marking Solana is just too efficient at this stage. Like imagine like me entering, even like with a nice amount of money. I'm trying to battle against people who track wallets, who know all the influencers, they have alpha, they have the cabals, they can check out if the coin is bundled, they can check out what is happening. They constantly monitor the main wallets, they sell after they sell, they don't hold anything. Like, this is not the environment, right? From my point of view. And it will also depend on the performance of the underlying asset. We also seen like Radium trying to create like a pump fund version of it. It's like the type of actions you're trying to do when you are at the stage of the dead cat bounce. Like you know you're actually going to zero, but you're still trying to perform like certain actions to essentially be doing. So I do believe that very interesting positioning right now is actually like Ethereum meme coins, because we had the peak and bottom of these two things. And ALTS, because ALTS were definitely like, they got shitted on, like they're still shitted on like so much, it's pretty insane, right? Myia is pretty much the only thing that actually pumped. And it's not me like being genius about it, it's me holding this thing for like 4 fucking months and losing like a bunch of money, right? And again, like I'm not even at the break even at this stage. Still probably like needed 2x, if not even more. And that's only in case I would be closing the position, and I won't, right? So I will just continue to hold. This is probably the overview. I think position yourself into Ethereum alts and Ethereum memes. Nothing pretty much changed. Like I think on some things you just got better prices, but some things, if you would carefully look at the chart, we are not at the bottom already. Like Blast, I think, is up like 20-30% from its lowest prices, right? And it kind of feels to me like coins should be catching up. Alts, they should be catching up, even like to Myia levels or something, right? But Myia pretty much dumped too much, and like holding older stuff, holding older stuff, like yeah, I'll probably make money. Like if you're in Atom, if you're like in Sui, if you're even in Solana, right? You'll probably like be making money, but will you be making like 20, 50, 100x's? Because we're absolutely still in the stage where you can have like a generational opportunity in this market, right? And would you want to waste this fucking generational run on some shit like Sui? Get like 2x on your Sui loan? That's pretty insane for me, right? You really have the option currently to position yourself in the assets and become financially independent, fucking free, because you will lose all your money. Right, guys. So I'm just talking gibberish. At this stage, I'm doing these type of talks more in my private Discord. So if you like that, you might think to join. Feel free not to. I don't even have a payment processor connected right there. So yeah, this is pretty much it. Thank you very much for watching. I shall be seeing you tomorrow. Have a nice end of your day. Stay healthy and rich. Bye bye.